over the course of a number of years, starting in basically 1983 when I had my first obstructed bowel surgery. It was something that was unbeknownst to me that you could even have anything like this. I've had 9 surgeries. I've had more obstructed bowels than that. Some of them cleared themselves, luckily enough, either before I got to the hospital or while I was in the hospital. Being in the hospital and having them trying to clear it is not very pleasant. And this last go around I got sick and was in the hospital about this time last year and had an operation that went bad. Got out of the hospital after about 42 days, went home. Within 2 weeks I was back in the hospital with an obstructed bowel. During this whole process, my daughter was talking to the doctors, and she said there's got to be a better way. This continuous surgery, and my surgeons had said the same thing, that the good news is we fix it, the bad news is we just kind of exacerbate the problem because it causes more scar tissue, and it's just a kind of a vicious cycle. So my daughter, bless her heart, started doing research. And she was used to doing it because she's a breast cancer survivor, and she did a lot of research when she was sick. And she came upon clear passage. And then when I got home and got better, she presented it to me and my wife, and we talked about it. But my doctor, my team was great. After we found out about it, we went to them for a consultation, and they said, look, we've researched, we've looked at the website, we've looked at their credentials. We know that this is not going to hurt you. How well it helps you, we can't say. But we would certainly say it's worth doing, because anything that you can do to prevent further surgery has got to be valuable to you. And it certainly can help make you better, but it certainly won't make you worse. When I came in, I hadn't felt well for a couple of months, and I was bloated, my stomach hurt all the time. And I can tell you, after the first day, I could start to feel some relief. And as we went through the week, I could start feeling more and more relief, and to where I thought, this has really helped me. And not only to the point that they've helped me, but they've taught me to help myself as well. I live in Colorado, so for me to come here, you know, it's not easy to get here, number one. But I wanted to get as much treatment in as I could. So I needed to get, I don't have the schedule where I could do a little bit of it and then come back and do some more. I wanted it all, as much as I could get for the time that I was here. And so the staff scheduled me for 33 hours. It started on a Tuesday of last week and ended just today, Friday. And so it was continuous treatment of 4 hours a day, one day 5 hours. And I'm glad I did it this way, instead of breaking it up in different segments. But also know that if for some reason that if I needed to come back, I could come back. But the staff was so good, they give you their email addresses, and they encourage you to contact them if you have any questions, and to keep in touch. And they kind of form that trusting bond with you as you're going through your treatment, and you feel very comfortable about being able to ask them for advice. And I feel very comfortable going forward that if I need to contact them for some reason, that I'll get a good response. It's a thorough review of your medical history, and that's a qualifier up front. And so I gave the releases, the history came in, and then I talked to the scheduling people again, who then, they've had consultations with Larry and the staff, and they kind of tell you that, look, in my case, 1 week wasn't going to do it. 20 hours was probably not going to do it. And I understood that. And with my history, it was understandable. And so I told them what my schedule was. and the time frame that I had to have it worked, and we put it together, they put it together, that worked out very well for me, and I think it worked out very well for them. And at the end of today, my 33rd hour, I don't feel like I shortchanged myself by trying to cut it short or anything like that. I feel like they addressed the issues and that they were able to do what they intended to do, and the progress reports along the way were very encouraging. And so I feel like they did a good job. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with myself for coming here, and I think that for me, the amount of treatment and therapy I got was good. The comfort level that I got about the treatment that I was getting and the progress that I was making, or the concerns they had, I think was very thorough. I had 3 different therapists. I'm not sure if that's the case for everyone and if that's normal, but I did. And they were three different personalities, and their skill levels were, they were all, of course, trained in this, but then their backgrounds are somewhat different as well. But as we went through, they would explain to me what they were feeling and how my abdomen was softening up. They have all the credibility in the world of what we're doing and what they're doing and what I went through. I just trust that it is not only just kind of a short-term fix and help me feel better, but that it's something that's going to help me stay healthy. And it's all the way from, as I mentioned, diet and exercise and self-manipulation and all those kinds of things that give me the confidence that I can travel and I can live a lifestyle I want to live and not be fearful of every time I get a stomach ache that I think I'm going to end up in a hospital somewhere. And so my wife and I do a lot of international travel, and I don't have that fear quite as much as I did before, that being someplace in a foreign country and getting sick and ending up in a hospital away from home is not as big a fear, because one of the because of the treatments I've had, and the other is because I know how to manage this much better. It's through diet and manipulation and exercise and things that they teach you that you don't get when you leave the hospital. So I'm one of those that's very happy that I took the time. God bless my daughter for finding it, and happy that I'm here and happy that I've done it. So to Larry and his staff, I just say thank you very much.